My Fabulous 77. So, first of all, welcome to another episode of Lindsay's Library. Before we get started, last night I finished the script for episode 12 of Positivity for Disabilities. I'm not doing that one today because I really felt, after thinking about it, is because of the topic that it covers. I think it is one that would be perfect for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to be filming that one tomorrow. So if anyone wants to take a guess as to what the topic might be, feel free to leave that in the comments below. And let's get started. So today I'm going to be reading chapters 22 and 23 of Maniac Magee, written by Jerry Spinelli. Chapter 22. If you were the baby buffalo at Elmwood Park Zoo, maybe it would have gone something like this. You wake up, you have breakfast, compliments of mother's milk, you mosey on over to the lean-to. Surprise! A strange new animal is there, bigger than you, but a lot smaller than Mom. Hair, but only on top of its head, sitting in the straw, munching on a carrot like Mom does. Every morning, same thing. You get to expect it. Some mornings you forget Mom's milk and head right on over to the lean-to. The creature offers you a carrot, but all you know how to deal with is milk. You nuzzle the new funny-smelling hairy-headed animal. It nuzzles you back. Mom doesn't seem to mind. After nuzzling, the stranger climbs over the fence and goes away, not to return until that night. Only one morning, the stranger falls from the fence and lies on the ground on the other side. It doesn't move. You try to poke your nose through the chain links, but you can't reach. You can only watch. Only watch. The old man was bumping through the zoo in the park pickup when he spotted the body clumped outside the buffalo pen. He wheeled over, got out. A kid! At first, he could only stare at the body, then at the baby bison, whose large brown eyes seemed to be watching them both. The mother came lumbering over, nodding, as if to confirm. A kid! The kid looked terrible. His clothes were scraps, rags. Wherever his body showed through, it was bony and dirty and scratched. The two bisons staring, seemed to say, "Well, do something." The old man gathered his own bones and muscles as best he could, and managed to hoist the kid and get him into the pickup. He laid him on the seat, bent his legs so he could close the door. He knew he should take the kid straight to the hospital or doctor, someplace official, someplace right, but the pickup just sort of steered itself back to the bandshell, and there he was, lugging the kid into the baseball equipment room. The season was over by now, but the army green burlap bags still stood ready for the next ump to call. Play ball! He yanked out a couple of chest protectors and laid the kid down carefully with his head. At least he was breathing. Though it wasn't cold, it seemed as if the kid ought to be covered, so the old man took his winter work jacket off the hook and laid that over him. Then he waited and watched with trembling, dusty fingers. He touched the kid's limp, scrawny hand. He had never really touched a kid's hand before. Hey! The kid's voice was barely a squeak, but it threw him back. He dropped the hand. Where am I? The old man cleared his throat. The bandshell. The bandshell? In the back. Equipment room. The kid's eyes squinted, blinked. And you? What about me? Who are you? Grayson. Grayson, do I know you? He got up. Guess you do now. He went to his hot plate, heated up some water, and made some chicken noodle cup of soup. He gave it to the kid, who was sitting up now. You want a spoon? He looked as though he could hardly lift the cup. He held it with both hands and gulped it down. Huh? He said. Never mind. You still hungry? The kid flopped back down. A little. Wait here, said Grayson, and left. 10 minutes later, he was back with a Zepp. A large. It took the kid less time to polish it off than it had taken Grayson to get it. He told the kid not to eat so fast he'd get sick. The kid nodded. Grayson said, "Where'd you get them scratches?" "Oh, some picker bush." "What were you doing there?" "Hiding." "Hiding? Who from?" "Some kids." "Where?" The kid pointed. "Somewhere out there, some other town." He crossed his legs Indian style on the chest protector. "Can I ask you a favor?" "Shoot." "Can we go somewhere and get some butterscotch crumpets?" Grayson squawked. "Crimpets? You still hungry?" "For them I am." Grayson threw the greasy Zep wrapper into the wastebasket. "I don't know. Maybe you ought to do something for me first." "Like what?" "Like tell me your name." "It's Jerry Magee." "And where you live?" "Well, I did live on Sycamore Street." 728. "Did? I guess I don't anymore." The old man stared. "You said Sycamore?" "Yep." "Ain't that East End?" "Yep." With his fingernail, he scraped a path of dirt off the kid's forearm. He stared at it. "What are you doing?" the kid asked, seeing if he was white under there. Neither spoke for a while. At last the kid said, "Anything else you want to ask me?" The old man shrugged. "Guess not." "Oh, come on, don't stop asking." "I'm asked out." "How about the zoo, huh? Don't you want to know what I was doing at the zoo? At the buffalo pen?" The old man sighed. "Okay, what?" "I was living there." "With the buffaloes?" "Yep, with the buffaloes." "You like buffaloes?" "It was dark when I got there. I thought it was the deer pen." "They switched the deer and the buffaloes around last month." "Okay with me. I got along better with the buffaloes anyway." "Well, I'll tell you one thing," the old man sniffed. "You sure do smell like one." The kid laughed. They both laughed. When they finally calmed down, the kid said, "Any chance of those crimpets now?" Grayson reached for the pickup keys. "Let's go." Chapter 23. Grayson got the crimpets all right. He bought a whole box of 3 packs, with 10 packs to a box. That was 30 butterscotch crimpets. Maniac thought he must have climbed out of that buffalo pen right into heaven. Then Grayson took Maniac home. Home for the old man was the 2 Mills YMCA. He lived in a room on the 3rd floor, but he didn't take Maniac up there. He took him downstairs to the locker room. He got him a towel and a cake of soap, told him to take off his rags, and pointed the way to the showers. Maniac stayed in the shower for an hour. He hadn't done this since his last bath with the little ones. He smiled at the thought of them shrieking and splashing. The shower needles stung his scratches, but it was a good welcome back to town stinging. When Maniac finally forced himself from the shower, he found the old man waiting with clothes. Grayson's clothes. "I called the U.S. Army in to haul them buffalo rags away," he said. "They come in with gas masks on, and they used tongs to pick 'em up and put 'em in a steel box. And they took the box away to bury it at the bottom of the first mine shaft they come to." Maniac couldn't stop laughing. Neither could Grayson, especially when he got a load of the kid drowning in his clothes. An hour later, after a minor shopping spree, Maniac had clothes of his own. For the rest of the afternoon, they cruised around town, talking and eating crumpets. "So," said the old man, "now what are you going to do?" Maniac thought it over. "How about a job? I could work for the park like you." Grayson didn't answer that. He said, "Where do you think you're going to stay?" Maniac's answer was prompt. "The baseball room. It's perfect." A tiny idea was beginning to worm its way into Grayson's head. He could barely feel it as it brushed by all the claptrap in his brain. He ignored her. He said, "What about school?" Maniac was silent. Some butterscotch icing had stayed behind on a wrapper. He scooped it up and mopped it from his finger, wishing it were Mrs. Beale's and not his own. Grayson, who was not comfortable asking questions, was even less comfortable waiting for answers. I said, "What about school?" Maniac turned to him. "What about it? You gotta go. You're a kid, ain't ya?" "I'm not going." But you gotta, don't ya? They'll make ya. Not if they don't find me." The old man just looked at him for a while, with a mixture of puzzlement and recognition, as though the fish he had landed might be the same one he had thrown away long before. Why? He said. Maniac felt more than he knew why. It had to do with homes and families and schools, and how a school seems sort of like a big home, but only a day home, because then it empties out and you can't stay there at night because it's not really a home. And you could never use it as your address because an address is where you stay at night, where you walk right in the front door without knocking, where everyone talks to each other and uses the same toaster. So all the other kids would be heading for their homes, their night homes, each of them hundreds, flocking from the school like birds from a tree, scattering across town, each breaking off to his or her own place, each knowing exactly where to land, school, home. No, he was not going to have one without the other. If you try to make me, he said, I'll just start running. Grayson said nothing. What the kid said actually made him feel good, though he had no idea why. And the brushing little worm of a notion was beginning to tickle him now. He kept on driving. And that ends chapters 22 and 23 of Maniac Magee, written by Jerry Spinelli. If you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want, you can like me on Facebook, follow me on Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram at lgrace1226, and add me on Snapchat. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!